Welcome! In this video, we are going to look at problem 36 from chapter 21 of College Physics by OpenStax. Okay, we need to apply the loop rule to the big outer loop of this circuit. Okay, so let's start by marking the resistors. And so I'm just going to zoom in. Okay, and so wherever current enters, so I1 is entering R1, we're going to mark that with a plus. Wherever it leaves, that one's going to be minus. Okay, so this current I1 is going clockwise in the top half. So we will have I1 going like that and I1 going like that. So we can mark the C end of little r1 is where the positive end is, and the other end is minus. We'll mark big resistor R5. So goes in as plus, comes out as minus near the E. All right, now let's see what we got going on in the bottom. Okay, so we can think of backing this current up, so to speak. So it's still going, I3 is going to be going clockwise in the bottom half. And so we will have I3 going like this, and so I3 will go like this. Okay, so this is the positive end of little r4, the high end, and the low end is near F. All right, and so we see I3 going through internal resistance R3, high end, low end. And finally, our load resistor, capital R3, has a high end and a low end. Okay, so we are going to start at A and traverse the circuit this way until we get back to A. Okay, and so we need all the potential drops. And so we can use Ohm's law, and the potential drop or gain or rise across a resistor is going to be I times R. Okay, so let me zoom out just a little bit more. Okay, so we are going to have, as we traverse the resistor, the last thing we see is a minus sign. So we will have minus, and then we're going to have current I1 times big resistor R1. Okay. When we go next, we go on to B and to C. The last thing we see is the long end of the battery. So we're going to have plus EMF 1. Now we're on to the internal resistor of EMF 1. Last thing we see as we leave the resistor is a minus sign. So minus I1 little r1. Okay, we keep going. The last thing we see when we leave resistor R5 is a minus sign. So we have minus I1 R5. Okay, internal resistor R4 is next. Last thing we see is a minus. So we have minus. This one is getting current I3 times R4 for the potential drop. All right, next battery, EMF 4. Last thing we see is the shorter end, so that's going to be a minus EMF 4. Okay, we're up to the internal resistor of E3, the EMF 3. And so last thing we see is the minus, so we will have minus I3 times little r3. We've got the EMF itself. We see the positive terminal last, so plus E3. Okay, we're up to resistor R3. Last thing we see is the minus, so we have minus I3 times R3. We are back to A, and we can write equals 0. All right, I hope you found that informative. That is how you apply the loop rule, and I will see you in the next one.